Hi Scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. I've got today a 12 by 12 layout for you that did play up a little bit when I recorded it, so it kept stop starting itself. Who knows with technology. I am scrapping a photo that you can see here of my grandmother with my son, quite a sentimental one. And I, oddly enough, don't use a lot of mixed media on this, or anything at all really. I am using papers and some of the embellishments that came from the Kitaholic Kit's December kit, which were really nicely brightly coloured. The heart paper that you can see sort of laid at the back has little gold hearts in amongst the black little hearts there, and the green doily also came as part of the kit as well. The paper strip you saw me cut there was also another paper from the kit. As to who it come from, I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so what I'm doing just now is having a bit of a play around with where I want the papers and the photo positioned and what I'm going to use to decorate the page a bit. So I've got some in the kit as well, was these lovely acetate, I think they're acetate, Heidi Swap words. And out of this one I picked the word beautiful. Just because the photo is quite beautiful, of my son having a nice laugh with his great-grandmother very long time ago, it appears. I'm just fiddling around where I want that to go, whether or not it will sit at the top or at the bottom. I think originally when I planned or had a look, laying everything out, I was putting it on the top, but you'll see towards the end that that actually does change. Just having a flick through all the other bits and pieces, I think off camera here, as to what to put on it. Oh, that's right, I grabbed out the sticker sheet that came in the kit as well. I'm trying to use up most of the things that came in the December kit. It was a really good kit in regards to, it didn't specifically aim at Christmas, but it had some Christmassy, New Year-y looking sort of touches that appeared to it. I'm just deciding here what I'm going to put from the cut apart, all the printables that we got, and put what where. Yeah, this layout didn't take me long once I got sort of the flow of it happening. I knew I wanted to use, as I said, the December kit, bits and pieces from the December kit. And I also wanted to have a go, if you haven't seen it, there was a video I recorded before this of my spotlight haul, and in it had some embossing powders, and it's my first attempt at doing some embossing. I have never done it before. It wasn't always something that sort of fazed me too much, but then, I don't know, just thought something different to try, a new technique. So I'm just picking some stamps off this stamp set, which I think for a while ago came from the Reject Shop here in Australia, which is basically like a little bargain shop. So yeah, just picking what I want from there and moving it away. Now I'm just opening up my VersaFine stamp pad, ink pad. I haven't used it before, so yeah, there's a bit of opening there, shuffling around. So I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and New Year. It is the 2nd of January here today as I'm doing this voiceover. Nice and warm here where I am. Hope we got some nice, either some scrappy time in or lots of memories to scrap. I am hoping after doing this voiceover that I might do some more layouts or some more spreads, so I might have some more videos to upload over the next few days. Now, as I said, I've never embossed before, so I'm just winging it a little bit, which is typical me. I'm not, as I said, not a fancy scrapper by any means, but yeah. So just moving my layers out of the way just to make sure that I've got room to go, as well as using using the heat gun. I was conscious of not, wrecking or bending any of the other photos or papers or anything like that. I have made that mistake accidentally once before in using the heat gun near a photo, and it started to bubble up the photo a little bit, so Won't do that again. Yeah, as I said, the video does cut in and out a bit, so you'll see things and then you may not, it might be the next frame be a bit different. Not sure why, but it did play up. All right. So I think I have some last moments of, is this what I'm doing? But yes. So here we go. Stamping down a nice little love heart stamp. And I don't have a particular way I wanted to have these on the page. I said the layers and that were planned. I knew I was going to give a go at the embossing. As to where I was going to put it, I just went with it. You know, sometimes I just try and go with the flow, whatever, you know, strikes my mood. But yeah. Now I use for the embossing powders here, these are the American Crafts embossing powders. So instead of just sort of sprinkling on the page and potentially wasting a heap of it, I use my little spatula knife thingy there that I usually use for the mixed media, like texture paste and gesso and things like that, and just gently sprinkle it over the top of where I've stamped, just to try and minimise, you know, wastage and things like that. So I know there's other ways. I've sort of seen some other YouTubers do the embossing, you know, and they've got little trays and things to put it in. But as I said, this is my first go at it. So a bit more practice, a bit more, you know, tutorials, YouTube tutorials to look at. So just gently giving it a bit of a tap so that the powder evenly, as best as possible, evenly spreads over the 3 love heart stamps. In the end, this actually turned out relatively well, I think. In regards to one of them, the sort of thicker black one that you can see on the right, then it sort of fades over the 3 hearts, so the pink powder, which actually in the end I quite like as the end result. At first I sort of went, oh no, what have I done? But no, so now I'm just sort of, yeah, just moving it all around, and I think this one with the excess powder I do try and put back into the container. As I said, you don't want to waste it. Our scrappy goods are not cheap to come by sometimes. Oh. Alright, so I do decide then that I am going to stamp another one. So you can see I've got the pink and the blue powder. So just giving that a go with the heat gun to see how that will turn out. Page isn't gessoed or anything for the beginners out there, like myself. So as I said, this is the first attempt at embossing. I do have a bit more to go. Obviously learning a bit more tips and tricks. If you've got any tips when watching this about embossing for me, please feel free to leave me a nice little comment below as to what to do. If you think I'm, you know, as I said, I do have a bit to learn. So yeah, just heat gutting that powder to melt it down a little bit into the stamp. So as I said, I mean, you can sort of see it from here. It turns out quite vibrant and then sort of fades into the other 2 hearts, which I actually quite liked in the end. Now my heat gun is not a typical sort of brand one. I actually brought it at one of the craft shows. There was a paper craft show here in Canberra a while back, and I wanted a heat gun. I'd been using my hairdryer once I'd gotten into mixed media to dry things off, so I thought I might try a heat gun, and I picked this one up for not very expensive at all. Right, so as you can see, the video cut out, and you've come back, and then I discovered that it's cut out after I've done a bit more embossing. So if you have a look, you can see the 3 other stamp pieces in the blue. They turned out really well, I think. Right now I'm using my diamond press die cut machine to cut out this banner, which is one of the new things I brought in my little spotty haul the other day. Now, for all you diamond pressers out there, I do have a bit of trouble with mine. I'm not sure if it's because someone else had used it once before and it got a bit stuck and used too thick a paper. I don't know, but yeah, eventually it does work. Sometimes it has its moods, it seems. But anyway, as you can see, back to the layout, I have now stuck down my layers at the top with the photo. So you can see the paper in the back, the doily, the strip of paper, and then I've put some stickers down that were from the sticker sheet in the Kitaholics December kit. And now I'm just going to use